Hello everybody. So in today's video I'm gonna talk about my night train experience with a European sleeper between Brussels and Berlin. And if you're interested to hear what went well and what didn't go so well, then stay tuned. So the European sleeper that I booked tickets for went from Brussels to Ostbahnhof Berlin. And that train continues on till Prague, but we wanted to go until Berlin Ostbahnhof. It departs from Brussels 19:22 in the evening and arrives in Prague shortly before 11 a.m. the next day. The route that we took was approximately 914 kilometers, and the train runs 3 times per week from Brussels, departing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and arriving the next day. There are 3 different options to travel. You can travel with seats, so you have compartments, you have couchettes, which sleeps 5 to 6, and there is a sleepers coach where you can stay with up to 3 people, and all of those arrangements can be booked for maximum privacy. So you can book a whole compartment for seats, which is a 6 people compartment, couchettes, and also the sleepers. For the couchettes and the sleepers, you have the women only compartment option. You get a blanket, a sheet, a pillow, mineral water, and those compartments can be locked. For the sleepers, you have 1 to 3 beds, and also here's the women only option possible. Also those can be locked. The seats cannot be locked apparently. In the sleeper you have a wash basin in the compartment, and the toilets are at the end of the carriage. With the sleeper you get a duvet, you get a pillow, you have a sheet. You also have mineral water included, as well as the breakfast, which otherwise, for example, when you go with the couchettes option, you pay 14 euros on top of your fare. And what I also found interesting is that at the moment bikes cost 19 euros if you want to take them with you, and also you can take your pets with you, so cats or dogs, but then you have to actually really book the whole compartment so that no other passenger gets any impact of you taking your animal. Looking at the fares, prices seem to depend on the time of your travel as well as how much you book in advance. I pay 2 times 159 euros, so 318 in total, plus a booking fee of 12 euro, which I found quite expensive. Maybe that's where I pay, for example, the customer service, but then the psychology of this is I didn't favor this one so much. Children under 3 travel for free of charge if they sleep in the same bed with you or your same seat. And if you want to have a own bed for your child, you have to buy them their bed or their seat, and then you pay a child's fare. My daughter paid the full fare, which I found interesting. Also, they won't let you have the children travel aged 11 and under on their own, so you always have to make sure children are accompanied by somebody who is 18 years or older. Also, the European Sleeper website states that if you're more than 6 people, that you need to contact customer service best for them helping you at an optimum level. And also a disclaimer for the video today, I had lots of luggage to lift, which is also potentially worth another video on traveling with a child and your luggage. And I was traveling alone, so I had a bit of a hard time taking nice pictures and videos during the travel. So excuse for my side if the videos and pictures aren't the high end that maybe some other people are able to provide. So to start from Brussels, we went up the escalator to platform 3. That was the platform where our train would be departing from. The train arrived well on time. The display caused a bit of a confusion because it said Doorrijdende Trein, which means passing through a train. And it seemed that there was only one coach for sleepers. It was coach number 3. It had quite a narrow aisle. Somebody trying to pull their suitcase through kind of got stuck, so that's what I could observe. So beware when you have a large suitcase you want to take with you. The coach is kind of old, it seemed. I don't know from what year, so there was a window where a small part could be tilted for fresh air, so that's what we actually did. When we entered our compartment, the middle and bottom bed were folded up, and we were able to ask the friendly conductor for us to pull the beds down, and she actually offered this when we first got on the train and were wondering about the beds. We had the middle and the bottom bed, which I was first disappointed about, but in the end I was quite happy because we were close to the windows and the top bed actually has no window access at all. Also, it seems that you can connect two compartments with each other in the sleeper coach, so that's nice to know in case you're traveling around with 6 people. And on top, next to the top bed, there was plenty of space for luggage storage, though it might be kind of hard to lift it up there when you have big suitcases with you. The wash basin corner had one extra towel besides the one placed above the sink and 2 tiny trash bins. The water didn't work, so we got a large water bottle to enable us to brush our teeth in our compartment. And in the top right corner there was one singular electrical outlet with a European type socket for any electrical equipment that you might want to charge. So this is the only one in case you want to do that. Be aware if you have to fight among the 3 of you in the compartment for this one socket. The ladder for reaching the top bed was nicely tucked away behind this one left seat. And then we also had a flyer type info sheet with a menu on one side for snacks and drinks and a bit more info on the European sleeper on the other side. As mentioned earlier, the coach wasn't the cleanest and it had definitely some dusty corners. So if you're picky about that one, that might maybe bother you. For me it wasn't so bad because the beds were very nice and clean, and the wash basin as well, and the towels also had made a very good impression on me. The train departed Brussels on time and we enjoyed our dinner, or what was left of it, before we had eaten already some at the station, and then we went on departing. The journey started kind of slow. We stopped at a station in a small town in Belgium and we stood there for quite a while, so I started wondering already about our train. Later I noticed that we had arrived at the first stop in the Netherlands, I think it was Roosendaal, with at least 30-minute delay, and we continued staying in the train station of Roosendaal for quite a long time. I didn't quite really keep track of the time. And actually when it got dark, the moon came out, so that was a nice picture to take. Originally, the train should have passed through Rotterdam and The Hague, but in the middle of the night, when I looked out the window, I saw that we were passing through 's-Hertogenbosch, which is not quite the direction. I think around midnight, when I was more asleep than awake, a lady got on in our compartment, and the next morning we got into conversation and she told me that there had been issues with the above wires for the train and there had been a delay of 3 hours while the people had been instructed to move from Rotterdam to The Hague and then finally to Amsterdam where they could board, so it must have been around midnight. We got served our breakfast. I don't know if it was really 45 minutes prior to arrival. That's at least what the website says when the breakfast would be served. The breakfast, which was included in our booking, contained a hot beverage. I chose for myself a coffee. My daughter got a hot chocolate. There was a bun sealed in plastic on top of the little box that we got. Inside the box there was a small cracker type Knäckebrot-ish little squares. There was a small yogurt, crunchy yogurt topping, some sort of butter or margarine. We had jam, Nutella and wooden cutlery, which was kind of cute. There was also a small package of orange juice and some meat-based pâté spread, so I saved that for my father since I don't eat meat. And I also doubt that my daughter eats it. I let her eat meat, but I don't do these sorts of experiments while traveling and then having to deal with opened pieces. We arrived at Berlin Ostbahnhof, which is currently undergoing refurbishment with a 45-minute delay. And from there, the train continued on to Prague while my daughter waved the train goodbye. Altogether, it was a pleasant trip with a touch of adventure due to the delay and the rerouting the train, which we fortunately didn't have to experience. I hope to try out the night train to Stockholm sometime soon, which departs from Berlin. That seems like a nice destination for me to do. That train also runs through Copenhagen, where we will also be later this summer, which I'm really looking forward to. What have been your night train experiences? Which roads did you take and how did you find traveling with those night trains? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I would be really delighted to see you back on my channel again very soon. Bye bye.